that last time. So first of all, welcome in. I was going to say welcome into Friday's class, but the days are all for, certainly for me, all sort of merging into one now. So anyway, welcome to a lunchtime gentle flow class. We are going to start seated with some breath work. If you want to play the playlist, then pop that on now. Doesn't work very well if you're on the free Spotify because you get the ads, but and you don't need to listen to music. It's just if you like to practice that way. So sit down any way that's comfortable. So that could be kneeling, that could be sitting cross-legged. And just as a reminder for everyone, and Elena, this is your first time practicing with me and Alex, the breath is going to be the most important thing that we focus on. So we're going to use that as a way of staying in the present moment. So it's a way of anchoring, stopping the brain, going back into the past and all of the memories, and also stopping it projecting into the future, which I think certainly for me is something that is happening a lot at the moment, just because it's so unknown and it's so uncertain. So staying with the breath keeps you anchored in this moment, which is really the only moment that there is. It's also a really good indicator of effort in the body. So if you're pushing yourself too hard in your yoga practice, you might find that you're holding your breath, or you might find that your breath has got much more rapid. And that's the body saying, slow down, ease off a bit. Don't want to work that hard in our practice. So wherever you're at, and also I just really want you to focus on meeting your body where it's at today. You might be tired, you might not be sleeping so well, you might just feel a bit drained. So work at the level that your body is giving you the signals you need today. If you need an energetic boost, then by all means, work hard and feel that energy. But if that's not what's going to serve you, if that's going to exhaust you for the rest of the day, back off and ease it down. So once you're comfortable, either close your eyes or just gaze down to the floor in front of you. At the moment, I'm really liking to practice my breath work with a hand on my heart and a hand on the ground to feel that connection into Mother Earth. But again, this is really personal. So you may prefer to have a hand on the heart and a hand on the belly. You may prefer to have your hands down in your lap. This is your practice, and more than ever, because you're on a screen, I'm here to guide. I'll keep an eye on you, but this is an opportunity to really own your practice and to, hi Becky, to take responsibility for it. So simple as, where is it comfortable to put my hands, rather than where does the teacher tell me to put my hands. And then we're just going to start with a very gentle inhale and exhale through the nose. And what I'd like you to see if you can feel when you're breathing in, I heard this cue yesterday in a class, an amazing class that I did. Can you feel the inhale is breathing up into your armpits? And then as you exhale, can you feel the skin of your back sliding down? So there's not a huge lift up of the shoulders, not a huge movement of the body, but just a gentle inhale into that space under the arms. And then as you exhale, the skin on the back sliding away. And if that doesn't make any sense, don't worry, just breathe in and out slowly through the nose. Know that you're here now. You're connected into a community of other people who are breathing with you. And as we breathe and as we start to move, can you connect in to your energy body in yogic terms? And then we're going to start to make more of a sighing sound as we breathe out. And that could be a really quiet sigh. It could be something a little louder. And just feel the release as you let the breath go. And then maybe you want to stick with this gentle but audible sigh. Or maybe there's some other noises you want to make. Maybe the sigh wants to become a bit louder. Or maybe it wants to become a different noise. Maybe it wants to become more of a roar. Maybe there's anger bubbling inside. Or maybe there's a howl even. I've been doing quite a lot of howling at the moment. I'll spare you listening to me howling, but really just maybe even a kind of noise. Just express. We're all on mute except me. Nobody can hear you. Obviously, I don't know about the situation in your house, but just let out whatever needs to come out. Let go of what anyone else thinks, how silly you feel. This is not a time for that. This is not a time for holding in feelings, emotions, and energy. So use sound as a way of releasing. And if it feels silly, then so what? Who cares? So beyond being worried about silly right now. And if you just need to sit with that gentle sighing out, then just stay with that. This is as much a part of your yoga practice as movement, as meditation, staying with the breath and learning to tune in to what you feel so that you can release it, let it go. I've got my eyes closed, I'm not looking at anyone. We'll do a few more breaths with this audible releasing process. And then we'll start to wind it back in. So quieten down if you're making a louder noise. And then start to bring the lips together so that the breath is entering and leaving through the nostrils. And then find a rhythm of breath that you can work with that's going to sustain you throughout the practice. So that might mean slowing the breath down a little bit more, or it might be making it a little more rapid, but definitely not in the panting zone. And then wherever you are, you're going to gently open your eyes, open them down to the floor to begin with, and then gently raise the eyes up. So, good. If you're sitting cross-legged, change the cross of your legs now, just so that we balance out. And just want you to spend a moment again thinking about lifting up. So we're breathing into the armpits, the collarbones are broadening. As you exhale, the skin of the back is moving down. Feel very rooted through the sit bones. And feel like there's a lift up through the front of the pelvis. And then we'll take some seated cats and cows. So you may want to have your hands on your knees or your thighs or even down onto the floor. As you inhale, feel that lift up into the armpits, lift up through the chest. And then as you exhale, you're going to round. So pressing out through the shoulders, navel gently into spine, maybe chin down to chest. And then inhale up. And exhale round. So move with your breath. You may even want to lift the head as you inhale so you get that stretch through the throat. And you may want to just stay with the hands and the arms fairly soft, or you may want to start to involve, really open out and then draw in. So really, as I said earlier, meet yourself where you are. You may not feel comfortable or in the mood to be expansive like this. You may want to just stay in close. Hold everything in gently and softly, or opening wide and then hugging in. Let's do a couple more like this. And then on your next inhale, gently bring the arms all the way up overhead. If the shoulders are feeling tight, have the arms wide, or otherwise palms facing in. As you inhale, lift up through the fingertips, and at the same time, press down through the sit bones. Soften through the legs, and then exhale, skin slides down the back. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, skin slides down the back body. 2 more. Reach up, maybe gaze up, and exhale. 1 more time. Notice if you're hardening through the core. Can you soften? And exhale. Going to leave the left arm up. The right hand's going to come down onto the floor. Inhale, reach up tall. Breathe into the armpit and then over into a forward fold. And again, tune into what the body's asking for. You may want to stay still here, or you may want to move. I know for some of us at this time, being static is not what we need. So wave in and out. Feel that stretch in and out of the side body. As you move over to the right, press down through the left sit bone so that you are not just lifting the whole body up and over. You get that expanse. Nice. Well done, Alex. And then from here, we're going to keep the right earlobe down towards the right shoulder. And next time the left arm is down, bring it all the way down onto the, well, not maybe onto the floor if you've got really long arms, or just hovering. Press out through the ring finger or the middle finger. And then just adjust the position of that left hand till you find that sweet spot of that stretch into the left side of the neck. If it feels like you want a little bit more intensity, you could take that right hand and just place it on the left ear. There's no pulling of the head down, you're just adding a little bit of extra weight. Good. And then if you've got the hand on the head, slide it around. If the hand's on the floor, bring it onto the right side of the face, and then use the hand to bring the head back up. And we'll swap over. Actually, let's do a couple of central arm lifts first. So inhale, reach up, stretch up, and then exhale, release the breath down. 2 more. Inhale, reach, and exhale down. 1 more. Lift up tall and exhale. We're going to inhale up through fingertips, and as you exhale this time, the left hand comes down roughly in line with the hip. Reach up high again, breathe into the armpit, and then we'll come over to the side. And again, static or moving with the breath. So finding that rhythm, that flow. Feeling into the sensations and how there are possibly differences side to side. And then we're going to leave the left ear down towards the shoulder. Right hand travels down towards the floor, but maybe not all the way. Press out through the ring finger, through the middle finger. Adjust and find that sweet spot. And even here, can you breathe into the armpit so you get space into the side ribs? Maybe the left hand comes over to add a little bit more. And then wherever you are, you're going to bring the left hand onto the side of the head Right hand comes down, gently ease all the way up. Good. Just let's warm up the hands and the wrists while we're seated, and then we'll come on to all fours. So bring your arms out parallel in front of you, roughly parallel. And as you inhale, draw the fingertips up to the ceiling or even back towards your body. And then exhale, bring them down. Couple more. Maybe one more. And then bring the hands back to parallel. Going to turn so the palms face up this time. You're keeping your hands fairly close together. As you inhale, draw the thumbs away from each other. And as you exhale, draw the pinky fingers in. So I find this one really awkward, moving this side to side motion in the wrists. Just give it a go. One more. Good. And then you'll turn your hands to the palms face down, loose fists, and take some circles. And then make sure you take them the opposite way. Good. And then just bring the hands down, maybe give the shoulders a roll because you've been holding the arms out. And then we'll bring the legs out in front of us. So sitting in Dandasana, and we're going to do kind of roughly similar movements with the ankles. If you need to have your hands for support, maybe in line with the hips. Going to inhale, point the toes forward. And as you exhale, draw the toes in towards the body. The dorsiflexion. Good. And then maybe bring the feet closer together so that they touch. As you inhale, turn the pinky toe edges of the feet, which way am I going? Turn the, the pinky toe edges of the feet away from each other so your feet V out. And as you exhale, big toes come in towards each other. So you're externally rotating and internally rotating as far as possible. I'm not very skilled at this, keeping the rest of the legs as still as possible so that you're really just focusing on the ankles. I find this really hard. I can feel my whole legs wanting to move. So just trying to isolate it. And even if the whole legs are moving, it's still going to be warming up the ankle joints. Couple more. Good. And then let's come on to all fours. Into tabletop. Just move the hips around in some circles. Good. And then from here, we're going to come down into child's pose, a traditional child's pose. So knees parallel, arms down by your side, forehead down. And on the inhale, we're going to lift up, reach the fingers up, breathe into the armpits. And then exhale, slowly come down again with control. Feel the muscles in your legs supporting you and holding you. Keep flowing with the breath. And it's a slow movement upwards. So you're not just kind of flinging yourself up and then arching into the back with control. And the same on the descent. Next time you're down on your knees, come down into child's pose again, and we'll take this into a cat-cow flow. So as you inhale, you're going to come up into tabletop. As you exhale, round into your back. Inhale into cow, and then exhale back down to child's pose. The arms will stay in front of you. Inhale, up into cow. So belly down, shoulders, collarbones wide. Exhale into cow, sorry, cat. Inhale into cow, and then exhale back down. You kind of get the picture. Inhale up. Exhale round into that angry cat shape. Inhale into your cow again. And exhale, bottom to heels in your child's pose. Do a couple more. Can you integrate the movements together? So with the cow, can you bring the head up in line with the spine so the spine doesn't move and then the head comes up, or the neck? It's all integrated. One more wherever you're at. Beautiful, guys, doing really well. One more. And then coming back to your tabletop, we'll take thread the needle. So nice firm base, pressing down to the fingertips, the knuckles, and the roots of the wrists, the palms, feet pressing down. As you inhale, raise the right arm up to the ceiling. So the chest will open to the side, but try and keep the hips facing forward. Take another inhale, breathe into the armpits. And as you exhale, slowly take that arm underneath. Drop down onto the shoulder, the side of the head. And let that right hand relax all the way down so it's supported by the ground. That's it, that's it. So all the way down, Elena. So bring it all the way down. Rest the head down, rest the arm down. So there's a twist through the upper body. Brilliant. Stay breathing here. If you have any variations that you like to work with, if you want to raise the left arm up to the ceiling or walk it out in front of you, your practice, have a little bit of time to explore the movement, but stay down for at least 2 or 3 breaths with that right shoulder stretched. Lovely. And then we'll take another inhale, lift the hand back up to the ceiling. Somebody's getting a nice massage, and then exhale, hand down back to tabletop, or getting a drum lesson now. So we'll take it on the other side when you're ready. You're going to sweep the left arm up. So the chest will turn to the side. Take another inhale, breathe into the armpit, and then exhale, take that left hand underneath the body. Rest down on the left shoulder, the side of the head. And come all the way down, keeping the hips towards the front of the mat rather than swinging out to the side, which is what I like to do. That's it. That's it, Elena. Can you drop down onto your shoulder and let your, yes, that's it. And then let that hand rest down on the floor so that you are not holding. Yeah, that's it. Lovely. And again, any variations with that right hand this time. Charlotte, what happens if you draw your right hip crease back? Other one, left hip crease in that case, sorry. Beautiful. Couple more breaths. On your next exhale, gently unwind, come back to tabletop. And in our tabletop, we'll come up to down dog. So curl the toes under. Maybe walk the hands slightly in front of the shoulders. Long, slow breath in. As you exhale, press down into the balls of the feet. And on your inhale, lift your bottom up to the sky into your down dog. So you're in that inverted V position. Let's have knees soft to begin with. And feel that lift. So think about the base of the sit bones or the bottom curve of the sit bones lifting up towards the ceiling. So the front of the body is long as well. And then can you get that sense again of breathing into the armpits? And then maybe paddling the feet. Maybe bending the knees and dropping the hips from side to side, feeling that stretch through the side body as you do. And then just take some time to just explore those movements or any other ones that you want to make in your down dog. And just notice if you're holding your head up, can you let the neck release so that the ears are roughly in line with the biceps? Beautiful. From here, come to stillness. We're going to inhale, rise up onto the balls of the feet, really, really high. Keep the sit bones lifted. And then as you exhale, bend the knees, hover them. They're not quite down on the mat. Inhale, rise up high again with those sit bones. And as you exhale, let the heels travel down towards the mat. They may not go to the mat, that's fine, but you may find a little bit more space. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, bend your knees, crouch. Inhale, lift up tall again. Straighten the legs and then exhale, heels come down. We'll do one more like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hover. Inhale, lift up tall. And then exhale, let the heels release down towards the floor. So we'll change it up slightly this time. This time we're going to roll forward into a plank pose. So come up high onto the balls of the feet as you inhale, and then feel the spine rolling forward. So shoulders are going to travel over wrists into your strong plank. And then as you exhale, bend your knees, little tilt of the pelvis, and roll back into down dog. We'll do that a few more times. So inhale, up onto the balls of the feet, and then feel the spine lifting, sacrum, mid-back, upper back, shoulders over wrists, knees bent, little tuck of the tailbone, and roll back. So finding some fluidity in that movement. Keep going with your breath. And that roll forward, can you initiate it right at the base of your spine? So feel that lifting up, almost as if you are in a wave-like cat coming forward. Beautiful, guys. Couple more. And then to come back, it's bend of the knees, almost like a Michael Jackson. Michael, or make it more like a, yeah, it is a Michael Jackson hip thrust. And then roll back. So remembering that this rolling action is always an alternative if you don't want to do a class where there's lots of kind of press up chaturangas and you're feeling it in the shoulders. This rolling action, really juicy for the spine. And then next time you're back in your down dog, we'll stay there, lifting high on the balls of the feet, bend the knees, look in between your hands, and then walk your feet forward. And then have them hip width apart, soft bend in the knees. Again, think about the sit bones lifting up towards the sky. But as you do that, don't press your bottom back. So we're trying to keep everything in alignment. Crown of the head reaches down, press to the soles of the feet. Notice if you're dropping into the arches, can you lift the arches? Can you feel the outer ankle bones dropping down? Can you feel the legs rooting down into the ground, muscles moving into bone? And then keep that really strong, secure base. Make sure the glutes, so your bum muscles are engaged, and very slowly come all the way up to stand, or draw the arms up overhead, reach up, breathe into the armpits as you inhale, and exhale, hands down by your side. We'll bring in some flows now. We're going to come into some low lunges. So if anyone's got knee issues and need padding, then pop that over your mat, probably about halfway down now. So standing firm again. As you inhale, bring the arms up, feel the breath traveling up into the armpits. And then as you exhale, bend through the knees. We're going to fold down into the forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. So lift the chest, crown of the head reaches forward, long straight spine. Exhale, both hands down. Take a long step back with the right leg into a runner's lunge. Wiggle that right leg back a little bit further back than you think you might need to. And then drop down onto the right knee, top of the right foot. And then on an inhale, sweep the arms up. If it's wobbly, then take that left foot out a little bit further so you've got a wider base. Take a couple of breaths here. And then on your next exhale, you're going to bring both hands down onto the top of the left thigh. Inhale, breathe up into the armpits, lift up through the chest. And as you exhale, skin down the back, lower back, pressing back, but draw the body forwards. So you're going to feel a stronger sensation into the front of that right hip. And then if it feels like the body is craving more intensity, then on your next inhale, you're going to press the hands down into the thigh, straighten the arms, which is going to lift the torso back up. Good. Breathing here. And then as you exhale, soften. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Good. And then exhale, hands down either side of that front foot, curl up onto the ball of the back foot, press through the hands, dome up, and step back to plank. Hold the plank, so we're building some strength, and make sure that the eyes of the elbows, so the elbow creases are drawing forward. You're not bowing the arms out, create shoulder impingement. Strong through the legs. So feel some heat, feel some energy building in the body. And then we'll drop the knees down, come onto the tops of the feet, take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, slowly with the elbows moving back behind you, come all the way down. And then slide your forearms in front of you. We'll take Sphinx as our first back bend. So the arms, shoulders above elbows. That's quite strong on the lower back. So if you want something a little softer, bring the arms further forward. Wherever they are, there's a feeling of pulling the arms into the body. They won't move, but just feel like they're pulling in. Press the tops of the feet down, active through the legs, and then lift the chest. Gaze forward. Make sure you're not looking up so that you're putting strain, stretching through the throat and compressing the back of the neck. Shoulders away from the ears. So there's a feeling of stretch and length through the front body, muscles of the back body engaged. 2 more breaths. And then as you exhale, gently release down. Hands come under the shoulders. Press up into tabletop as you inhale. Curl the toes under. Exhale back down to down dog. And then draw the feet together. I'm going to inhale, right leg up to ceiling. As you exhale, bring that knee forward, shoulders roll over wrists, and then let that right foot land. If it doesn't land all the way forward, pick it up with your hand, bring it into place. Press out through the heel of the left foot, drop down onto the left knee, top of the left foot, and then inhale slowly, rise up. Feel really firm through your base here. Notice what's happening with your breath. And can you feel that lift by lifting the breath into the armpits? As you exhale, hands onto that right thigh, sorry. Going to inhale, lift up through the front of the chest, and as you exhale, lean forwards. If you want more, exhale, press the hands into the top of the thigh. Inhale, straighten the elbows and bring more length into the front body. Also, quite often I find that my kind of glutes go to sleep here. So feel your glutes activated. Feel the front heel pulling into the midline of the body. You activate the hamstrings as well. One more breath. And then exhale, slowly release. Inhale, bring arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down either side of the front foot, up on the ball of the back foot. Hop forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. And then press into the floor and rise all the way up. Reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands into heart center. Other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, flow forward all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Both hands down, bend the knees. This time, take a long step back with your left foot. Runner's lunge. Wiggle the left foot back a little bit further than you think you might need to. Drop down onto the left knee and top of the left foot. This time we're going to bring the left, keep the left hand down on the inside of the right foot. Inhale, draw the right arm up to the ceiling. So the chest is opening here. And then we'll take some arm circles. So draw the arm forwards. Take it back behind you. You may need to turn the palm and move slowly so you can feel the muscles, the movement around the shoulder. So enjoy that movement. And it could just be a very gentle movement. You can even bend the elbow and take smaller circles, or it could be really expansive. And you could even start to kind of make it like a scooping motion when you come forward. You get even more sensation around the shoulder. And then take those circles in the opposite direction. So if you were coming forward, go backwards. If you were going backwards, come forwards. Do a couple more. And then bring that arm back down. Which leg have we got forward? The right leg forward, haven't we? Good. And then curl up onto the ball of the back foot. Step back into your high plank. And then we're going to drop the knees down again. Think length, crown of the head rest, lift the leaning forward, and exhale, slowly lower down. So this time you could take Sphinx again, or you could take Cobra, so hands underneath the shoulders, axis through the back body, lengthening and lifting. Could be a low Cobra, could be a little higher. Just watch out for shoulders coming up to ears, and think about broadening through the collarbones. And then just focus on the breath here. Let it be smooth. It's quite challenging. You can hold it for a little bit longer. And then as you exhale, gently come all the way down. Press back into tabletop, and then curl the toes under and lift back to down dog. We'll take a breath in down dog. And then we're going to inhale, lift the left leg up towards the ceiling. So there's no rush. You take your time. And then as you exhale, bend the left knee, roll the shoulders forward, land the left foot wherever it lands, and then pick it up and bring it in between the hands. We'll drop down onto the right knee, top of the right foot. This time the right hand stays down on the inside of the left foot. We'll sweep the left arm forward, and then we'll take those circles on the other side. And as I say, they could be really small circles, or they could be big. So if at the beginning, when we were doing the breath and you were making sound, if you felt the need to make big sound, then maybe make those circles really big. So use your body and the movement in your body as a way of expressing and releasing that same whatever it was that needed out at the beginning with the breath work. Couple more rounds. Nice, guys. And then take it in the opposite direction. Do a couple more. And then next time the hand is forward, bring it down. Going to come up onto the ball of the right foot, and on an exhale, step forward into your forward fold. Press down through the feet slowly. Use your inhale to bring the arms up overhead, and exhale, hands into heart center. From here, inhale, reach up. Exhale, softly fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Take a big step back with the right leg, up onto the ball of the foot. And then this time we're going to come up high into a crescent lunge. So that back leg stays raised. The back knee could be bent, or you could straighten it. My hip flexors are feeling a bit tight, so I'm going to keep my leg bent today. Arms up. And then I want you to interlace your hands and place them around the base of your head. I quite like to have my thumbs sort of pointing down, so they're supported. The bend of the thumb is just below that bony bit at the back of the skull, the occipital. And then we're going to try and keep the pelvis and the legs fairly neutral. The arms can be wide, or you can have them kind of hugging around the head. And we're just going to take some circles here. So again, they could be big circles, big expansive chest. Spend some time over to the side and then come forward. Or they could be really small. Just a little circle that you feel maybe in the upper back and the shoulders. And this might feel really quite demanding, even if you're not moving very much. And know that that's fine. This is pretty strong work. Trying to hold yourself stable while the upper body is moving. Take it in the opposite direction wherever you're going. And just kind of listen in each part of the movement to that sensory feedback from the body, because there might be places where you just get to and it feels, oh yeah, that's good. Maybe stay there. And maybe other areas where you think, oh, that just doesn't feel so good. So don't rush through those areas, but maybe now is not the time to punish yourself by staying in them. Next time you are kind of forward, we'll release the hands down and then sweep them up as you inhale, look up, and then exhale, slowly bring the hands down either side of that left foot at the front. We're going to hop back straight into down dog. And then pedal the feet. And then when you're in your down dog, use an inhale. Well, bring the feet together at the back of the mat, and then use an inhale to sweep the other leg up to the ceiling, which I think should be the right leg, but I'm having a brain freeze moment. And then as you exhale, roll forward into plank. Yes, it is right leg. And then land the right foot wherever it lands. If it needs a little bit of help to get up high enough, then move it. And then slowly keeping the back leg raised, we'll inhale up into our crescent lunge. Good. So this time we're going to take the arms wide like goalposts. And as you exhale, draw them in towards each other. So opening. And what we don't want to be doing here is sort of throwing the chest. It's not a cat and cow motion. Can we keep the upper body relatively stable and just focus on the movement of the arms and the shoulders. And when you bring them in, maybe imagine that there's a block there which you're trying to squeeze. So you've got some kind of proprioceptive feedback. And even when you take the arms back, maybe you can visualize or feel like there's a block in between the inner shoulder blades which you're squeezing together. Couple more rounds, or couple more, what's the word? Reps, that's the word that I'm looking for. Good. And then next time the arms are out to the side, reach them up to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, bring them either side of the front foot and then step forward into forward fold. From your forward fold, root down through the feet again, lift the inner arches of the ankles, press down to the outer ankle, and slowly as you inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, hands into heart center. We'll take eagle pose, not eagles. What's going on today? We'll take tree pose. So we're going to root down through the feet. And again, feel that lift through the inner ankles. The outside skin on the outside of the legs reaches down. Come up onto the ball of the right foot. Keep that stability through the left leg, the left hip. Turn the right foot out. And then find your tree, which might just be balancing the ball of the foot down on the floor. Might be into the inner calf, a bit higher, or even all the way up to the thigh. You might need a little bit of help to get there. And how high it goes and how high it stays often depends on if you've got shiny yoga pants on. And then bring your hands together in heart center. Press the palms together. And if you're wobbling, enjoy it. If you watch trees, the trunk stays stable, but the branches wave. So wobble, move, flow. If you want to take your arms up overhead, you can keep them narrow, or if that feels not so good on the shoulders, separate the arms. Again, feeling this lift up through the armpits. Couple more rounds of breath here, smooth, slow breath. And then as you exhale, slowly bring your hands into heart center. We're going to stay balancing. We're going to slide that right leg across above the knee. And then sit down as if you're sitting in a chair. How low your chair is, only you know. We're getting a nice stretch out through the glutes. And I find it really helpful to really press the palms together. Somebody was telling me the other day that if you struggle with balance, if you hold on to the opposite ear from the leg that you're lifting up, that helps. So if it's a wobbly day, you could always try that. And then we're slowly going to rise all the way back up. Draw the knee into the chest, and then take your hands around the knee, draw it in a little bit closer. Notice what's going on in that left leg. Have you lost the engagement of the muscles? Squeeze, and then release the hands. Can you keep the knee at the same height? Take the legs out to the side, and then one more little bit of balance, a little bit of quad burn possibly. Straighten that right leg forward. For 3, for 2, for 1. Gently come down. Come onto the right foot, and then lift the left leg. Give the right foot a shake, a little bit of a rotation through the left ankle, because it will be feeling it after weight bearing for that long. If there's any quad cramp, get a little bit of a release, and then we'll take it on the other side. So this time, come to stand again. So get that stability through both feet. And then we'll take all of that into the right side, onto the ball of the left foot, turn the leg out to where it turns to naturally, no forcing beyond where you feel the resistance, and then come into your tree on the left side. It may be the same height as on the right, it may not, doesn't matter. And then bring the hands into heart center. Again, you could stay here Or you can lift the arms up overhead. Your practice, your body. If anyone's feeling like they need challenge in their balance, you could look up to the ceiling or close your eyes or both. Couple more breaths here. And then we'll bring our hands back down into heart center. Going to cross the left ankle over the top of the knee. So it's not, you haven't got bone on bone. Slide the ankle across and sit down again. How low you go, entirely up to you. Think about creating length through the front body here as well. So rather than rounding down, long, breathe into the armpits. One more breath. Now we're going to slowly stand up. Draw the left knee into the chest. Hands around the front of the knee. Draw it in. And then let the hands go. Maybe reach them out to the side. Again, if you feel like being expansive, but if you don't, have your hands down. One more breath, and then we're just going to straighten that leg out. Notice if your jaw has got very tight here. Can you smile for 3, 2, 1? Beautiful. And then come down, lift the right foot up, give the foot and the ankle a shake to release. You need to come down into the quad. Wow, I've just looked at the time. Right, modifying. So come to the front of your mat. We're going to come down onto our bottoms. If you don't like coming down to a squat, then just make your way down onto your bottom. If you're going to squat, before we do that, let's all do this. Let's just release the hips a little bit. So soft, have your feet hip width or slightly wider than hip width. Soft knees, and we'll just do some gentle hip circles before we come down. And as we start to slow the effort down, come back to the breath. Just notice what it's telling you. Take the circles in the opposite direction. Good. And then come back to stillness. Set yourself up for a squat if you're coming down into a squat. So feet probably hip width apart, maybe the toes slightly fanning out. Hands on hips or any other position that helps you balance as you come down. So take a nice long slow inhale up into the armpits, and then exhale, knees coming forward over the toes, come down, and you may well come up onto the balls of the feet. That's absolutely fine. Lift up through the chest here. Watch out for rounding through the spine. Arms resting wherever they need to rest. 2 more breaths. And then gently put your hands behind you. Come down onto your bottom. Ankles out, legs out in front of you in Dandasana. You may want to just rotate the ankles a couple of times. And then we're going to come and lie down on our backs. So just make sure you're far enough forward that you're not going to run out of mat. Arms out in front of you. And this time we will curl down in a C shape. So as you exhale, push the feet forward, start to roll down, and the legs will move back, but keep pressing the bottoms of the heels out, bringing yourself all the way down. Once you're down, let the shoulders, it's almost like you're taking a sigh out and the shoulders are melting down into the mat. And then draw the knees into the chest, hug them in. Maybe draw some circles. And then take the arms wide of the body. And on an exhale, drop the knees over to the left. Keep the right shoulder down on the floor. And you could look towards that left hand, so the gaze is in the same direction as the knees, up to the ceiling, or even all the way over to the right hand if you want a stronger twist through the neck. But whichever way you're looking, Can you now take another breath in and then use the exhale to soften? So it feels like the body is melting down into the ground. Couple more breaths. And then you're going to inhale, knees up to center. And as you exhale, take them over to the other side, so twist in the opposite direction. Relax the head, relax the shoulders. Draw the knees back up. Lift the head and shoulders, wrap your arms around your shins, give yourself a hug. And then any closing shapes before we come down into rest pose, into Shavasana. And equally, if you want to wrap up, if you want to put a blanket over yourself or put a jumper on, do that now. And then come and lie down in a position that's comfortable for you. So that may not be lying on your back. That could be on your side. That could be on your tummy even. I always try and not sound too judgmental when I say on your tummy, just because I find that that wouldn't be comfortable for me. But it is for many people. So find that position that you can, just as we did at the beginning with that in breath and then that soft sigh out, lie down as if it's a sigh. Maybe feel the chin very slightly tucked so that there is length through the back of the neck. Bye, Becky. Sorry, I'm running a little bit late. So yeah, make sure you take Shavasana when you get a chance, and have a lovely weekend. So for everyone else, it's 2 minutes to 1 o'clock. So we'll be in Shavasana probably for 3 or 4 minutes. So sorry for running over, but come down, and can you consciously soften everything in your body? And there may be some areas that you're not even aware that you're holding tension. Think about your jaw. Where's your tongue? If it's in the roof of the mouth, let it settle in the base. Think about your forehead and that space between the eyebrows. Can you soften there? Can you soften your cheeks? And then can you let the breath soften? And just allow any sensations, any emotions, any feelings, just let them come, let them wash through you, and let them release down into the earth. And then start to become aware of the ground underneath you. Feel the sensation of the body pressing down, and that being met with the earth holding you up. And then start to allow gentle movement in the fingers and toes. Obviously, if you want to stay in Shavasana longer, then please do. Again, listening to what your body needs, owning your practice. But if you're ready to come out, start to extend that movement into rotations of the wrists and the ankles, spreading the arms, stretching them wide, coming into a stretch. Maybe drawing the knees into your chest and just rocking from side to side. And when you feel ready, gently rolling over onto one side. Rest there on your side for a couple of breaths. So there's no rush to come back up. And then when you feel ready, and when you've had at least 2 or 3 breaths on your side, bring your hands down so that you really support yourself into an upright position. Again, so you're not using muscles. And then sit in a way that's comfortable. Could be cross-legged, could be kneeling. But as I say, if you need to stay down in Shavasana longer, then please do. And rest the hands somewhere that's comfortable. If you can keep the eyes down, or if you're comfortable having them closed. And I just want to share a reading. I've been sharing this all week, and I also posted it on Harbour's social media, but it's just really speaking to me at the moment, so I'm just sharing it. It's from a translation of a tantric text, and it's called the Radiant Sutras. You are stunned, powerless. You thought you knew what was going on, but now you realize you don't have a clue. You are stopped in your tracks. Everything within your skin is shaking. Enter this shaking. Get curious. Look around inside with wonder. Unmind your mind. All the walls have fallen down. Go ahead and dissolve. The one who has always been, who has seen much worse than this, is still here. Come back to the breath. Slow, long inhales and exhales. And then wherever you are, just bring your hands gently around your neck so the fingers are moving towards the back, the palms are wrapping around. Just breathe a couple of times here, holding the throat. And then slowly draw the hands down so they rest on your heart. Breathe into the heart. And then draw the hands down onto your belly, seat of your intuition. Breathe into here. Long, slow breaths. And practice integrating head and heart. Head wisdom, heart wisdom, and intuition. And then bring the hands together in heart center. Bow your head. Take a moment in gratitude for the fact that you're here, you're able to practice, you're healthy. Thank you so much for sharing your Friday lunchtime with me. Have a wonderful weekend. I look forward to seeing you soon. Namaste.